Good morning, everybody. If you'd like to come and take a seat. We're so glad you're here. You're really super welcome. The way this morning is going to go is we're going to have a time of sung worship together. We're then going to hear Paul speak, and then we will have some time to pray for one another together. So that's kind of an overview of the morning. Shall we all stand? I'm going to pray. Yeah, Father, we want to start today by lifting you high. We thank you that you are already here, that you are wanting to draw near to us today, that you are wanting to come close by your presence. Would you just help us to have open ears, open hearts? And Lord, would you be glorified this morning? Would you be lifted high? Thank you for all that you are going to do in and through us this morning. Amen.
she came and just wanted to pour it out. And I just feel like that's an invitation for us this morning to give an outrageous offering of devotion to him. So yes, Lord, we want to pour it out before your feet and hold nothing back from you, Jesus. Constant and unchanging, my God, you have been the lighthouse in the storm. You are still the voice I listen for. You will be the rock on which I the great I am. And all throughout my life, I have seen your faithfulness. You are constant and unchanging, my God, you have been the lighthouse in the storm. You are still the voice I listen for.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Sarah. I help to oversee some of the prayer stuff here. This is Catherine, who oversees newcomers and under fives. And we are so glad you're here with us. Well done for braving the traffic and all the road closures. Welcome to everyone who is joining us online as well. We're just really glad you're here.
Absolutely. And if it's your first time joining us and you've been a little while but you've never shared your details with us, we'd just love to encourage you to grab a stay in touch card from the newcomers area or ask a team member to flip over the lanyard to show you the QR code that you can scan 21st century. Or it's up there. Woohoo! And then you just share your details with us, and then one of our team will get in touch with you just to welcome you to the church and help keep you up to date and get you connected. Also, if you're new, we'd love to invite you to a welcome lunch. There's one coming up in a few weeks on Sunday, the 10th of May. It will be here straight after the morning gathering, so you don't have to traipse out one night, organise babysitters. Kids are welcome, so if you've got kids, bring them along, and then you just meet some of the team, meet some other people exploring, joining us as a church, and hear a bit of our story of who we are, where we've been, and where we're going. And the other thing we just say is chat to one of the newcomers team at the end in the newcomers area. We'd just love to meet you.
Yes, and if you are here and you're actually exploring faith, you're trying to work out who Jesus is, what it all means, we have a free resource just out in the newcomers area as well. A Why Jesus booklet just explains really succinctly why Jesus came and what he did and what it means for us. Also, if you've never been baptized and you would like to be, there is a baptism service coming up on the 17th of May. Very exciting. So if that's something you'd like to explore, please speak to one of the team, one of the people with the lanyards, and they'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and we'd just love to invite you to get involved with making church happen. It takes a whole team of people to set up church. This room does not look like this the rest of the week. This is a school canteen, believe it or not. And so there's a number of teams to get involved with, from host team to help set up this room, the car parking team to give a warm welcome, the kids team. There's so many teams to hopefully suit everyone, whatever your passions, your gifts. And I just wanted to share a message I received from one of our kids team this week, which I just thought shared a bit of our heart of why we do it. So talking about the kids, they said, they're so, so precious, and they have taught me so much about Jesus. It's been the definition of church isn't just where the adults are. And we love that we get to make church happen for our kids, for our youth, for our adults. And we just love to invite you to help be part of that. You can sign up on the website, chat to one of the team. We'd love to help if you'd be interested.
Yeah, and one of the things that we do every month is something called Table Sunday on the first Sunday of the month. Jesus loved to gather around tables. He loved to eat with people. And I also love food, and I'm sure you do. So we would encourage you at this point to think, could you invite someone over? Even if it's like your first week here, could you put a chicken in the oven and invite some people over that day? So have a think about that. That is happening in 2 weeks' time. Who would you like to invite, or would you like to join in a trip to a restaurant or something like that? But get it in your diaries.
Yeah, and on the same day, as we eat together and gather around tables, we would also love to gather food for people in our city who don't have enough to eat. We have a community hub, it's called 42, it's in the Lonside Ardwick area, and out of that place we run a number of projects, one of which is the pantry, where the team there each week open up our little supermarket shop. Not supermarket, maybe like corner shop, with food, essentials, and so we'd love to invite you to help us restock the pantry. Just as you go out on the right, there's a little stand, there's some shopping lists, you can pick one up and maybe add a few items to your shop and bring them along that Sunday. Would be amazing.
So in summary, if you missed all of that, go to the newcomers area, chat to someone who's on team, or head to the website, because all the information is available there as well.
We're going to go to a short break. There'll be a couple of baskets coming round. One is full of sweets, so do dive into those. The other one is the offering, so if you give in another way, feel free to let that pass you by. And in the break, why don't you chat to someone you've not met before, get to know them, find out their name, maybe chat about Table Sunday. The youth will head out to their groups, and then Paul will be speaking in a few moments.
You gave me your eyes, you gave me your heart. Your spirit flows through my veins. You gave me your eyes, you gave me your heart. Your spirit flows through my veins. You gave me your eyes, you gave me your heart. Your spirit flows through my veins. You gave me your eyes, you gave me your heart. Your spirit flows through my veins. Oh, you gave me your eyes, you gave me your heart. You had a plan right from the start, and I know who I am, 'cause I know who you are. You are a good God. All that I need to know is this.
Guys, good morning. Delighted you're here. I realise a number of you are joining us online because of the marathon as well and half term, so we're delighted you're with us and catching up on this. For those of you that were here at the wedding yesterday, Abraham and Bea got married, wonderful moment. There was a guy here that I've not seen for a little while. He went, he moved with work and his family to a different part of the UK, and he came back. He, in this church, gave his life to Jesus, and I was delighted just to hug him and for him to say, I'm growing in my relationship with Jesus. Isn't it great to see those moments where people have given their lives to Jesus, found Jesus for the first time, and then they've gone off and they're still living it out? I loved it. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, I am so delighted. He said to me 4 days ago, his dad gave his life to Jesus. Don't you love that? We're part of something that grows, and we were kind of just singing it. Let my life overflow so that all the world will know. And I just wanted to encourage you. We work hard and we fight hard for people to come into environments where they can know Jesus. And I was delighted he's living it out. And now his dad's living it out. His dad's been here a few times. You kind of get to know people, don't you? Just the wider extension of people's relationships. And I've seen his dad a few times, and I'm just delighted to know he's now walking with Jesus. Over the last few weeks, I've almost accidentally been doing a thing where I'm just trying to equip us to practically do a few things. One of them was I talked about praying for people. Last week we talked about physical healing. Before, I want to take that a next step further today if I can. But before I do that, last week we looked at physical healing, and I said, don't tell me the Lord doesn't heal until we've prayed for 100 people. You know, just got to keep doing it. And I get it. I do get the tension. Last week, even speaking on healing was quite hard. The whole way through worship, Steph was just in tears, in pain. I'm like, it's hard, but we don't do it because of what we see. We do it because that's what he told us to do. And so we keep at it. But there was a number of stories last week, and I'm not going to be able to share them all, but I just want to share one that was sent to me this week. It says this: I am pregnant with baby number 2, and it was getting pretty uncomfortable very early. I was less than 20 weeks when I started getting pain in my hips and my back that led to having contractions if I didn't rest, and progressed to pain almost all the time. It's gotten so bad that I couldn't leave the house without support and couldn't pick up our toddler or take her out on my own. I knew I needed to come forward for prayer. As soon as Paul started talking, we prayed, and I didn't feel anything immediately. It's funny how that's often the story. But by mid-afternoon, I noticed I hadn't had any pain since the morning. I was able to move and pick up our toddler. On Monday, I even walked to the corner shop for the first time in months without any pain. Don't you love that? I love that. Surely it was worth it for the one. I know there's other stories, and I've heard from a few of you, but we pray for the one, don't we? I love it. I love what the Lord's doing. So if we talked about praying for people, we then talked about physical healing. This week, if I can, I just want to talk a little bit about the prophetic. And before we go anywhere, I just want to try and normalize this, because the prophetic was never meant to be for the special few. It's meant to be for everyone. And one of the dangers of the prophetic particularly is that we elevate it. We start to think that certain people are the hearers from God. And without even meaning to, we start to put people on pedestals, and then language can start to creep in with that it becomes big and impressive, and the spiritual sounding words, and then it can start to feel out of reach for everyone. But honestly, I just want to say we're all on the same level with this. We're just people trying to listen and trying to discern the whispers of God and trying to steward that well and steward that well for ourselves and then for others. And I think the Bible's really clear on this. It says we don't see everything, but we sometimes, through our own sense of insecurity, like to think that we do, but we don't. 1 Corinthians 13:12, now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror. We know only in part. So we stay humble with this. I think there's another danger that we start to use the prophetic to meet something in us. I don't know if you've ever seen that or even found that in yourself, that to feel significant, to feel secure, we've got to feel like we've got something that others don't. And when that starts to happen, we start to slightly inflate it. But that's not what this is. This isn't about a platform. It's not about sounding or looking impressive. It's about a relationship. It's starting to learn to recognize his voice and then lovingly sharing what we're sensing. So we're not trying to be polished. We're not trying to be eloquent. It's not trying to be perfect. We're just learning to be willing and responsive to his voice. John 10, verse 27, my sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. That's not a verse, I don't think, for the super spiritual. That's a promise for all of us. If you belong to him, you can learn to hear him. And the question isn't, can God speak? The question is, are we learning to recognize and respond to his voice? So, like anything, that takes practice. Sometimes we get it right, whatever that might be. Sometimes we get it wrong. And sometimes we're not sure. We're learning and we're growing and we're becoming people who learn to hear and catch the whispers of God. I often see it like that. It's like a whisper. It's like walking down a corridor and just hearing a conversation as somebody passes you and just trying to latch on to the whisper. I fully need to confess that I think many of you know this if you've been here more than 2 weeks, but I like mini eggs a little bit too much. I am working through it. I'm not celebrating this. One of the youth recently came up to me and told me that they're cheaper in B&M. That's amazing. Thank you for looking out for me on that level. I find those insights quite helpful. I've scaled back significantly this year, just partly because of the cost of them is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if you've noticed. Anyway, I was in Tesco recently and I walked down the aisle of sin, as we know it in our house, and it's aisle 11, but they also put them on the special offers aisle around Easter. Anyway, I saw them in all their glory, completely overpriced. Rather than just look at the price, I actually took things a step further. And I had the scanner thing that you have, and I scanned them. And as I did, I fully intended just to put them back. It's like, I'm just going to scan it. It's too expensive. We're going to put it back. I don't know why. It's like, I need to confess that. But anyway, as I scanned it, the price came up saying £1. Now, I don't know if you know, I think they were like $3.29 or something like that. So through my head, I was like, do I now buy as many as I can and make a run for it? My integrity radar went off slightly, so I went and found a member of staff, and I worked through with them my newfound discovery, and they confirmed that it was indeed the case. And I was like, I cannot understand this. The price says that, but the reality is this. And they're like, it's not a mistake. So I was like, my integrity intact, let's grab as many as we can. And they didn't last very long. There's less in a bag at the minute, which is partly my excuse, but I had more than my fair share, and I had to fully apologise to Steph and the kids for that, and that's probably another story in itself. But my point would be this, if I can. I do eagerly desire mini eggs, and I go to great lengths to secure them. After that tip-off from that young person, I did go to B&M. Yeah, anyway, that's another story. But 1 Corinthians 14, verse 1, let love be your highest goal. But you should also desire the special abilities that the Spirit gives, especially the ability to prophesy. Do you kind of see that in that context? Not just be open to it. Not just if it happens, hey, that's great, but desire it, pursue it, make space for it. I love the order of that passage. Let love be your highest goal. Because the prophetic only makes sense in the context of love. It's not about being impressive, it's not about being right, it's about building people up and encouraging them and strengthening them. But we should desire this. I want to be honest with you. I used to think of the prophetic as something really quite weird. I was really quite sceptical, partly because I'd seen it mishandled and overinflated. I used to grow up in a church where I'd actually never seen anything like this. I'd never even considered the prophetic until I stumbled into the Vineyard, and I was really quite standoff about it, if I'm honest. Anyway, somehow I ended up at a leaders' conference, and I don't really know why, because I wasn't a leader. I didn't lead anything, and I have no idea why I was there. And then, again, bizarrely, because I was quite standoff with it, I found myself in a prophecy workshop, and kind of classic Vineyard. Instead of talking about it, the guy leading the workshop was like, right, so let's do it. And he said, what we're going to do is blind prophecy. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but I panicked. I was like, why am I here? I'm skeptical about it. Blind prophecy sounds like blind date, Cilla Black. Like, what is going on? Anyway, he split the room into two, and half the people line up and close their eyes, and then the rest of us go and stand in front of somebody who's got their eyes closed. I already thought this was weird. This was getting more weird. And anyway, then they were with their eyes shut, without seeing the person. They were going to start sharing what they thought the Lord might be saying, trying to catch the whispers. And my skepticism was in full overdrive. And I'm thinking, here we go. I know what's going to happen. It's going to be, I see a rainbow, and the Lord loves you. And I see a waterfall, and I saw the liquid letters of the love of God. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not, that's all true. The Lord does love me, and I do love it when I see a rainbow, and it reminds me of the promises of God, but just the skepticism in me is like, I don't need the guy with his eyes shut to tell me that the Lord loves me. Anyway, I'm there thinking, repent, relax, stop being so opinionated, and the guy I had no idea who he was, I still don't now, without ever seeing me with his eyes shut, he starts speaking, and he says, I see you going from A to B, and A to B, and A to B, and A to B, and I'm thinking, I was okay, it's interesting, it's not life-changing, I'll write it down. I often write these things down. I think it's helpful, write it down. I've always seen it, we're not led by the prophetic necessarily. It can help shape the journey, and it can often confirm something that God is already stirring. And so it's helpful. And then he says, and as you move to C, no longer A to B, it will no longer be in a fire engine. And I thought, what on earth? Like, I was in a season where I was wrestling with leaving the fire service and laying it all down and going to uni to study youth work and theology and serving the church. And in that moment, my mind was blown. And what's amazing, actually, is afterwards, when he opens his eyes, I kind of told him, and his mind was blown. Which is actually kind of the point, I think. Because it's not about being impressive. It's about being ordinary people listening and taking steps of faith. Now, he took a significant step of faith in what he said, and sometimes God speaks in those moments really quite powerfully. We hear in part, we see in part. But sometimes God meets us there in that part. It's always a risk. I don't think I've ever known it when it isn't a risk, and if it isn't a risk, it's because you know the person so well that you're just speaking what they already know. There's a risk, and we have to learn to take risks. If you were here last week, there was the whole thing with one of the people we were praying for, and I had a thing in my shoulder. You just have to learn to take the risk. and create space for the miracle, and it often comes in that in-between space. Our posture is really important, I think. It's in that utter weakness and in that utter humility. We're just learners. We're sheep trying to hear his voice. We're not experts. I would encourage all of us to run a mile from the God has told me language. I heard God say. I think it's much more, hey, I might be wrong. Please weigh this. Please discern this. Please reflect on this with others. But I just wonder if, hey, I'm taking a risk with this, but I just wonder if. And I think with that posture, we should literally be doing this all of the time. All of the time. There should be a natural overflow among us. Surely we want to hear his voice, and surely we want to sense what he's saying. And we just don't have to get silly about it, if I'm honest. You sometimes see it. I'm waiting on the Lord to see if he says, should I go to Tesco or should I go to Asda? Just go shopping. Like Aldi's probably cheaper. But I think we get to unlock something of what God wants to and is doing among us, and also in this city. And I believe we don't just have prophetic words and God senses. We actually get to reveal what the Father is doing. And I just want to help normalize this for you by telling you a little story. About 3 years ago, we were in the gap between ordering and paying at the McDonald's drive-through. This is like a super spiritual story incoming. It's not, we're going to McDonald's anyway, classic. Anyway, it's the McDonald's in Ardwick, which is right between 422 and where I think hopefully we're going to end up with a new building, which, by the way, feels a strategic move of the Lord. We'll be there more often. Anyway, we're sat in the car between ordering and paying, and our youngest daughter just starts crying. But it's not crying. It's like, it's hard to explain other than to say it's like wailing that you sometimes see in some cultures where somebody's died. It was deep and it was excessive, and something was far from right. And we're trying to work it out. I'm like, have I got you the wrong Happy Meal? It was like, did you want the toy rather than the book? And the reaction she's having is just totally disproportionate. It took quite a while to calm her down. And eventually we realise, through her language, she is grieving. She was genuinely grieving because we hadn't ordered anything for the homeless guy that was sat out by the window between the order and the pay. And of course we order him something, but it wasn't enough. Like, ordering him something just didn't settle her. She was like, well, is he coming to live with us? I'm like, oh Lord, you are testing me here. But in her mind, he's homeless and we need to be doing something about it. That was about maybe 3 years ago. In the weeks that followed, we had loads of conversations with various people, and I spoke to a leader of another Vineyard church, and they said something that really stuck with me. They said it sounds like the intercessory heart has been unlocked in her. And from that point on, something shifted in us. Because we began to recognize that she carried a burden, a deep God-given burden, especially for the marginalized, particularly for the homeless. And we've never tried to manufacture anything about that, but we have tried to draw something out and help her understand that what is going on is actually the heart of God in her heart. And honestly, it's profoundly changed us as a family. We fill the car with stuff to meet people's needs. We don't walk past anybody anymore. She saves all of her pocket money to help try and find ways to get people off the streets. The other week, she bought a big issue for somebody and went back then and bought somebody else from them so that they had more money, and went back again with food and drink for them. And this dear lady she's given it to grabbed her, hugged her, and kissed her head. And it was like for Steph and I, it was like a moment of heaven somehow touching earth. It was incredibly powerful. We had a meeting recently with a group of you here. I just think something's stirring in our hearts and breaking us for how we serve the city, and we're talking about it, and she came along with a notepad and a little pen, and she came away with two things. Firstly, that those that are homeless, she came to understand, can often feel overlooked, and she's like, we're going to do something about it. And then secondly, she realised that the church pantry here often has a number of things, but sometimes the thing that they often run out is toilet rolls. So the next day we're in Costco and she's spending her pocket money on toilet rolls. And when she runs out of pocket money, we are also the source of not only the pocket money, but the run out. And you're like, just challenging. And I kind of want to say two things before I say anything else. First is two dangers in telling you that story. One is I stick the spotlight on her. It's our daughter, and I'd rather she fades into the background. The second one is I make out butter wouldn't melt in her mouth, and she's permanently Mother Teresa. She's not, although she stands a better chance of being like her than I do. But the point is kind of this. We've got to get over the way stories like that can sometimes ruffle us a bit. Because what I'm telling you is it floored me, and it still does. Because I've started to realise that's prophetic. That's the heart of God being revealed. And we get a glimpse of what matters, a whisper of his compassion and something of his nature revealed to her. And I've come to see that we get to release that. So this isn't an age thing. This isn't an experience thing. This isn't, hey, I understand every scripture and I can list off all the books of the Bible in order. She couldn't do any of that. But we get to release the prophetic in people. And it's what we see, it's what we feel, it's what breaks our hearts, and it's a way that reflects his. And we get to see God moving and a seed of his voice and his character, and we get to call it out, and we get to call it out not only in ourselves but other people. Jesus consistently named things in people that others couldn't see yet. I don't know if you see that. He didn't deny their brokenness, but he did speak to their destiny. He called out the gold of the Father that the Father had already placed inside of them. And it wasn't flattery, it was prophetic truth that formed people as much as it described them. Jesus renamed people to call out who they were becoming. And if you see how he did that, when Jesus met Simon, he didn't wait for maturity and before he'd speak into his identity. John 1:42 says, Jesus looked at him and said, "You are Simon, son of John, but you will be called Cephas," which means Peter. At that point, Jesus wasn't yet stable. I don't know whether he ever was, but he was impulsive, he was inconsistent, he would later deny Jesus, and Jesus named him Rock before he ever lived like one, before you could ever say he was one. Jesus spoke about his future identity into his present complications and fragility. Jesus spoke faith before his behavior caught up. Now, I want to equip us to do that because I don't think our natural reality often is that, because it's actually quite hard to do. Because if you're anything like me, you see the problems before you see the potential. Whereas Jesus saw the potential and then sought to release it. To Nathanael, Jesus said, John 1:47, "Now here is a genuine son of Israel, a man of complete integrity." Nathanael, that I can see, hadn't done anything to warrant or earn that description yet. Jesus was calling out who he truly was, not just how he appeared in that moment. Jesus named people by their restored identity, not by their past or their past behavior. To the woman shamed by her story, Jesus said, "Dear woman, your faith has made you well, go in peace." Luke 8:48. He didn't say to her, "You're unclean, you're broken or a problem." He said, "Daughter." He kind of re-established something of her belonging before he spoke into her behavior. Jesus spoke purpose into people who were overlooked. When he called the fishermen, he didn't define them by their jobs. He says, Matthew 4:19, "Come, follow me, and I'll show you how to fish for people." He reframed the skills that they had and what they did, and he said to them, "There's more in you than you realize, and I'm going to release that." Jesus called leaders before they felt ready. To Peter, again, after a moment of failure, he didn't rehearse the denial, he recommissions him. He sends him again. John 21:15, "Feed my lambs, take care of my sheep, feed my sheep." Jesus trusted Peter with responsibility whilst he was still seeing him healed. That, I think, is prophetic release. It's a remarkable thing to do. What Jesus was doing underneath all of that is that Jesus saw people as the Father intended, not as they currently appeared, and he spoke identity before maturity. How unbelievably challenging is that? He spoke identity before maturity. That's hard. But I think it's what he calls us to do. He named calling before people had the confidence to step into it, and he addressed destiny, not just dysfunction. That is a deeply kingdom-minded thing to do. The Father names first, then he forms. Romans 8, verse 29, for God knew his people in advance, and he chose them to become like his Son. That's prophetically calling out something incredibly powerful and pastoral. It's not hype, it's not flattery, it's not ignoring reality. It's learning to see people the way God does and then lovingly naming the thing that he's forming in them. That's, I think, a prophetic utterance. So if I can, I just want to give us a real quick few, hey, this might be helpful as we try and start doing this and embed this increasingly in our culture. The first thing would be to say that we start with how God sees people. So we start in prayer rather than conversation. Before we speak to somebody, we might want to ask, Lord, what do you delight here? What's the delight of your heart in this person? The Bible reminds us, Romans 8, verse 29, for God knew his people in advance, and he chose them to become like his Son. We're not inventing something. We're agreeing with what's already present and emerging and how he sees somebody. That'd be the first thing. The second one would be we learn to name specific fruit rather than vague potential. So I don't have a problem with this, and I think it's okay, but almost avoid some of the generalities of, hey, you're great, you're gifted. That's okay, but instead it's, hey, I've noticed. It's like I want to unravel and reveal something of the Father heart in the person. Hey, I've noticed you consistently make space for the quieter people. I think that's the heart of God for the marginalised, and we get to see that in people. Hey, you bring peace in tense moments. Hey, you don't rush decisions. There is a steadiness about you. That, I think, is the prophetic voice at its most powerful when it's observable. Hebrews 10, verse 24, let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. So we call it out in the present tense. We don't just talk about, I think, who people are becoming. We call out, you are. It's hard to do without actually doing it over some of you, but I just saw some of you then. The wisdom on you, the wisdom that's growing on you. There's a shepherding heart in you. God is forming resilience in you right now. You have such a pastoral heart and reaching to people. See, I think Jesus did this continually. He called Simon Peter before the rock was obvious. He says to him, Luke 22, verse 32, I've prayed for you, so when you've repented and turned to me again, strengthen your brothers. This moment takes place on the night of the Last Supper, just hours before Jesus is arrested, and the disciples are arguing about who's going to be the greatest. Peter's about to deny him, and Jesus names Peter's future while Peter's still living out a bit of a mess. I think that's phenomenal. I think that's the community we want to be, just calling out what the Lord is doing, not necessarily what our humanness is doing. We link, therefore, the affirmation to God's work, not somebody's ego. We want to be people that release the prophetic. Like, this isn't personality praise. This is kingdom recognition. So it's instead of, hey, you're amazing, which may be true, it's, hey, I see on you the grace of God. The Spirit is powerfully moving in your life. The Lord seems to really trust you with. We're releasing the things of the Spirit rather than the things of us. Romans 12, verse 6, God in his grace has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. I think that keeps us grounded. It keeps it dependent on God. It keeps us grateful. It's really just identifying him in people and kind of naming it. They don't follow me. Follow the Jesus in me. That's what I see of you. I see Jesus becoming more evident in your life. And so my next thing I wanted to say is we can do this even if refining is needed in somebody's life. It doesn't mean that we ignore the sin or we ignore the immaturity or the gaps in their lives. In fact, I think this actually allows a safer environment for those things to work through, because we can say, hey, because I see whatever it might be, this really matters. You know, for you to become all that God is calling you to become, maybe, hey, can we work through this area of your life? Steph does that to me all the time. It's a beautiful refinement of, hey, I see this in you, therefore, come on, we can sort that out. Hebrews 12 verse 6, one of the most challenging verses I often read. The Lord disciplines those he loves. If he loves me, he needs to discipline me. Correction lands best when people know that they're deeply seen and valued. We want to create a culture where everybody does this. The danger of even this conversation is some of you will count yourselves out and you'll make it a leader thing. I believe that we need to increasingly model phrases like, can I say what I think I see the Lord doing in your life? I've ended up in some remarkable places doing things that I'd have never seen myself doing because people have said those things. I want to name something that I really value about you. I just want to we want to create environments where that's what we're doing. We're calling these things out. Hey, can I just say, here's a way you've really impacted my life deeply. We're just releasing something of the prophetic voice. So 1 Thessalonians 5:11, so encourage each other and build each other up. Every environment we're in, there's a prophetic act of hope among us. It's saying you're not just where you are, God is at work in your life right here, right now, releasing something more. When people are seen, they slowly rise into who God is shaping them to be. And the more we do it, the more we learn to do it, and the more we hone in then on some of the specific words. I hope that's in some way helpful. What I want to do is do it and release it among us. And I was thinking about that. I have often felt quite uncomfortable when somebody just starts saying words, because people in these environments can feel uncomfortable receiving them in front of other people. So we'll try and do this as sensitively as we can. I was actually sharing this with somebody this morning. They were saying it's not always safe, though, is it? As much as I want this to be safe, it isn't always safe. I have just nudged a few people just during worship and just said, look, can I speak something over you? So just by way of doing this, to say, look, I think all we do is just start speaking. Sometimes it becomes automatic mouth. We'll just do a little bit of that and then see what we do, if that's okay. The reason I'm waiting is because I don't have anything pre-planned. I think that we just wait on the Lord and like, Lord, what are you saying? And sometimes we just start in that place of affirmation. Jim, can I just speak over you? Lord, Spirit of the living God, come on, Jim, now. We see you, Jim. In the natural, I want to say I've sometimes been in environments where I've heard you singing to the Lord, and I think it delights his heart. It's like a song in your heart. I just pray now that it says in the Bible that the Lord sings songs over us. I just pray actually as much as you sing to him and he loves it, I pray a double portion that you would know the love song of the Father over you. That there's a settling in your spirit right now for would somebody who knows Jim just go and join him and just lay a hand on him and pray for him? Just bless this man. Sing a love song over him now. Father. Come and affirm him. Come and encourage him. We bless you, Jim. As much as I, kind of joked about the rainbow and the love of God, I do just believe there's almost like there's something so profound about the love of God. I just want to pray the love of the Father over you. I know you are a father, but he's your Father. He's your Father. He's good. He's for you. As we do that, I don't know whether sometimes there's a difference between words of knowledge and the prophetic. There's a difference between a word of encouragement. I sometimes think it starts in words of encouragement because it starts in the place of love. And it just flows. And so I almost want to just encourage us, if I can, that sometimes you just say what you see, and what you see you just keep going with. And before you know it, you're probably tumbling into something of the prophetic. I just believe, Jim, the Lord is moving you into a season of unlocking some things. You coming into the fullness and awareness of who you are. I pray that you would be settled now in your spirit and steadied in the love of God. Some of you, I just pray now the Lord's going to start giving you words and encouragement to people. We should come here and this should be the most encouraging place you've ever been. Mark Prince said, you are Lord, bless that man. I bless your marriage. Bless you, Mark. I've just stumbled into numerous conversations where people say, you're such a nice guy. You are a nice guy, Mark, but it's more than that. It's a character trait of the Father. It's a gift of the Spirit. You're not just a nice guy. You're so pastorally minded. The love of God that flows from you. You're a pastor in this church. We don't have names and labels and titles, but you're a pastor in this church, you and Esme. Bless you. Just affirm you now. As I'm saying that, I just see my mum's got this thing with a little wheel where you crack nuts at Christmas. Sometimes the kids love it. They turn it and you crack the nut and the shell, and inside it is the nut. I just believe there's a season in your life, I might be totally wrong, so please weigh this and bin this if this is wrong. Hold it lightly, but I just see that the wheel has been turning, and it almost puts a squeeze in it. Because just a couple of people who know Mark, just pray for him as well. I don't want to leave him exposed, but it's like the wheel just turns and it can create a pressure. I just believe this has been a pressurized season, but I feel like it's because it's about to reveal what's inside. And the fullness of that is about to come into fruition. But I just want to affirm you as a young guy who's giving everything you've got for the extension of the kingdom. And we bless you in that. We love you. The peace and the love of God come on you in increasing measure. Yeah, I think you'll be all right with it. I haven't said I would do this, but Val, what do we say? You're a mother in this church, and I just want to affirm your spiritual authority. The Lord says he gives us all authority, not partial authority. Just bless you now. I see, as I say that, I can see you holding a sword. I think you carry a weapon. of the authority of the Lord. And again, just as I say it, I think this is how the prophetic works. I started with nothing, and now I'm like, well, where are we going? But there's those machines that work on the road that before they lay the tarmac, they like dig it up. They go along, and it's like, I don't know what they're even called, but I think you have a remarkable ability to prepare the land for what the Lord wants to do, and to create the path to create the tarmac for the road. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just see the authority that you carry brings something remarkable in the softness and the sensitivity, but also the sharpness and the firmness of your ability to communicate that in truth. You're a truth bringer, and I just bless you, Val. We love you. We affirm your gift. And the years behind the scenes and the price that you pay to allow that weapon to be refined in the way it is. Spirit of God, come upon her and Dan, I pray. I pray your best days are ahead. For the sake of us, but for the glory of the Lord. Glorify your name. No, if I can, I just want to normalize this among us. I just saw Val. I didn't have anything in my mind other than I love her and Dan dearly. I think it starts in a place of love and it becomes an overflow. And I will check in with all of these people afterwards. And whatever you say, you just always offer it in a way of, hey, if any of that doesn't resonate, please weigh it and bin it. Please discern it alongside others, and we're learning. Shall we? I don't know what we're going to do now, but Pascal, help me. Should we just stand up and just see what the Lord wants to do? Because I don't know. What does he want to do? Yeah.